Good morning, Nowata County. It is Friday, June 18th, and today we're talking about all things garden market. Our mission is to promote strategies and policies which ensure improved health for all citizens of Nowata County.
Hello, Nowata County. This is Marcus Yersa with Know What I Can. Know What I Can is a local coalition of 3 grants that we operate underneath. And the first grant that we're going to talk about is TSET, which stands for Tobacco Settlement Endowment Trust.
Hi everyone, I'm Misty. I work alongside Marcus on the TSET grant. The TSET grant's primary focus is tobacco cessation, physical activity, and nutrition.
And I am Crystal. I work on the PFS grant, which is the Partnership for Success. What that program is to address substance abuse among young adults and youth. And our main focus on that is marijuana use and underage drinking, and that we cover the entire county. We also provide lock boxes for safe storage of your prescriptions.
And I'm Trista. I work on the DFC grant, and DFC stands for Drug Free Communities, and it is a concerted effort between CDC and community coalitions like Know What I Can, and it focuses on the prevention and awareness of youth substance abuse.
And there you have it. That is Know What I Can in a nutshell. If you're interested in any of these specific grants, please stay tuned. We'll be diving deeper into each one of them and giving a little bit more information about the activities and events and the grants in general. So stay tuned. All right. Here we are.
Yay.
Our first podcast on garden market. We lost Crystal. Crystal had to take care of something. She might pop back up, but we're winging it from this point on. It's all conversation from here, guys.
Yay.
So, and like you said, it's all garden market all day. So, where do we want to start, Trista?
Let's start at the beginning.
At the beginning. What was it, 5 years ago?
It'd be 6 years ago
6 years
now. Garden market started in April of 2015. And the nice folks at Ranch Supply let us start it there. So we originally were at the location out on the highway where the Ranch Supply is, and we sold.
Where the new Ranch Supply
The new,
is. Okay,
yes, the new Ranch Supply. Sorry, because now we're
that
at
could
the
be
old
confusing.
Ranch
Yeah,
Supply.
we're sitting where the old Ranch Supply, right?
Yeah. So Derek Dick was nice enough to let us start there. We sold stuff out on his loading dock there. So like people were nice enough to like back up around us to get their feed, but it kind of guaranteed us like a steady flow of customers too. It was very strategic the way we did that. But
I'm trying to think of what I was doing in 2015. I was still working at Grand Lake.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we started out with, Mr. Wheat. Everybody remembers Jerry Wheat. He sold bread there. Mr. Wheat selling bread, and it was great bread. Perfect for
perfect
French
is
toast.
that?
I know.
Eggermeyer selling eggs.
Yeah. We had, who else? The Boys and Girls Club. They were selling like greens or whatever they grew in the community garden that year. And it was just like a really, I don't know, just a very simple start. But from the get-go, when we started, we accept SNAP benefits, and we were set up to take senior benefits. So,
And the whole point of the garden market is to create an affordable local food access, basically.
Yep.
And I've said from many conversations in the community about how passionate I am about feeding kids, because I've seen a massive difference in behavior whenever kids have food, especially nutritious food. I know that, if I go on a binge of cheeseburgers and hot dogs, I feel like a cheeseburger and a hot dog.
right.
But we don't have access to healthy food. There's a lot of challenges that go along with that.
And affordable.
And affordable,
Which is
absolutely.
why we decided from the get-go we would start with accepting SNAP.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So can you explain a little bit of the SNAP process? I know you have that machine right there.
So here's our EBT machine. So, I mean, the market is open to anybody to come. It's not just SNAP customers, because we do have a lot of people that come and they're like, can I even shop here? And yes, shop here. But we do have this EBT machine. You'll see it at the market manager table. And someone with their SNAP benefits card or their senior benefits card. Yeah, there's our sign. They come to us first, and they'll tell us, how much money they want to spend for the day. So, say they come up and they ask us they want $15. So we will swipe their SNAP card or their senior benefits card, and that will take $15 off of their card. And we give them these tokens. These, I don't know, it's too
Little
far
wooden
away.
tokens. Here, let me see.
Yeah, these wooden tokens. They're
I'll Vanna White this. Here we go.
there you go.
There we go.
Yeah, and it's got our logo on the other side. It's really nice. But they're worth $1. So we give them the dollar amount of tokens that they've requested to take off of their card, and then you can spend these. Like our SNAP customers, our senior benefits customers can spend these with our vendors. So that way.
Makes it a little bit easier.
It makes it easier on our vendors, so our vendors don't have to have a SNAP machine and they don't have to run an EBT machine. We were lucky enough to we started the Double Up Food Bucks program a couple years after we did the EBT program. We actually we tried to apply for a federal grant that we weren't eligible for because of our population size for our county. So we just decided we're going to do this this Double Up voucher to double people's SNAP benefits. We decided we'd get that privately funded by local businesses, people
And who all have through the years? Who all have we had? Can you
we've
remember?
had, of course, Ascension St. John, because they did it the first year back when it was still Jane Phillips.
Oh, okay.
They sponsored our Double Up program that first year. We've had Stump Funeral Home. They've been very gracious in sponsoring the Double Up Food Bucks program. And they've also, they actually, one year we ran out of funding for that in the middle, or we went through all of our Double Up bucks.
Which is a good problem.
It's a good thing. Yeah, it's a good problem
it means
to
we're
have.
doing a lot of business out
Yeah,
there, and a lot
and
of people
so
are getting fed.
Stump, they stepped back up and gave us another however much we needed to get through the rest of the season so we could continue to double up our folks' their benefits so they could spend more at the market. So typically, so they get their little token here. So we said they swipe their card for $15. We can double up their food, their SNAP tokens with these handy little, do your Vanna White again.
Up to $10.
Yeah.
Up to $10,
Yep, we can double them up to $10 with those vouchers per visit. So, and they spend just like the dollar tokens. And now they can spend all of that like the day they ask for it, or they can keep it and save it for the next farmer's market all the way through the season. So
even to the next year, right?
yeah. Well, we try not to encourage that,
okay.
just because
Those
just to
they're
keep track.
numbered, so we can
Yeah.
keep track of them.
Yeah.
Oops, let me go back over here.
Yeah, it's just like it's just a process to keep our records straight and remember,
Right.
how much we did transaction wise. So, anyway, we try to make that pretty accessible to our SNAP customers. Now, our senior benefits, the senior benefits works similarly to the SNAP benefits. It's on a card. It's a state program that our seniors, you have to be 60 or older. You have to meet a certain income requirement to be eligible, but you can sign up through DHS. And since it's a state-funded grant, they only allow so much money per county. So we have a certain amount of money for Nowata
based
County.
on population.
It's based on population.
And we have no control over that.
Yeah, we have no control over that, and so Nowata County gets 15 senior applications a year, which that's a thing. Everybody knows I advocate and try to get more than 15 applications every year because we like to take care of our seniors.
Absolutely.
We've got plenty of seniors in need here, and since we only get 15 applications a year, we try to spread that out so the same people aren't getting it every year. It's a way to include everyone. And but anyway, so they apply for that senior card. It has $50 on that card that they can spend for the farmers market season. It's and of course it's eligible to be double upped. That sounds
Doubled up.
yeah, doubled up. They're eligible for the double up food bucks also.
So hypothetically,
Mhm.
if somebody applied through DHS and they were lucky enough to get one of the 15, they could come in and double it up, and they have
Yeah.
50.
They have 50 on their card.
And then they could double it up to be 100.
Essentially, yeah.
And then with SNAP, how does that work? Can you have SNAP and
With SNAP, you can. Yes, if
Okay.
you already receive SNAP benefits, you're a senior already on SNAP benefits, you are eligible to apply for the senior benefits card. Obviously, I mean, we try to space that, or we try to spread that out
Right.
for customers so everybody gets a chance. So ideally, we would like it if you already have your SNAP to allow another senior who doesn't
Right.
have SNAP to do that.
Because you can get a lot of food
You can.
each week.
Oh, for sure.
You can
Yeah.
get- yeah, you
This is a
absolutely
way
can.
to really make it affordable. Right now, um, who are some of our vendors? We've got Kennedy Spencer, Kennedy's Produce.
Mhm.
She is the girl that she and her mom and dad, they pull up their trailer every week, and she's got produce. Half of it she grows herself. So, but she does really well.
She
Every
practically
People
week.
like
sold out
the
last week.
tomatoes.
Yeah.
The tomatoes
Yep.
are delicious, and they get those from
It's a
little farm up north in Kansas.
Yes, but see, so that's everybody wants to know what's locally grown. So
That's
we
what I was
are,
going to ask. Yeah.
we're considered an Oklahoma grown farmers market. So local, under definition, USDA definition, and Oklahoma Department of Food and Forestry, the definition is within 300 miles. So, and counties like us who border another state or share a border with another state, we're allowed to count that 300-mile radius within the next state over. So we're able to do that with what Kennedy does. And we also, we've had sweet corn vendors, watermelon vendors. We do have a home baker. We've got Story and Company Bakery.
While we're on that,
Yeah.
last
Yeah.
year my daughter did some baking and my nephew did some baking, and there are some things that go along with that.
Yep.
A lot of this stuff is not that complicated, but you do have to be aware. So because we are
Yeah.
regulated by the state.
Yep.
Something I was thinking about are regular questions that we get on a regular basis, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's a little bit frustrating for people. We'll just be honest. But these aren't our rules. These are safety rules that the state has put out, so we can be a certified state. And at any point, one of those inspectors could come by and see something wrong, and we could get in trouble for it, and we would not be able to provide this
Right.
service. So we adhere to it very strictly. And one of those things, like I said, my daughter did some baking, my nephew did some baking, and we had to make little stickers that went on the packaging that has our name, has our address, contact information, what it was, what the ingredients were inside
Right.
of it. If it had peanuts or something, you don't want to sell somebody something
Right.
that has peanuts and they didn't realize it and they'd be allergic to peanuts. That's one of those examples of why it's so important for some regulation to be in
Yeah.
there. And but with the Home Bakery Act, could
Yep.
you go down that road
So,
more?
so our vendors, if you want to sell produce, you can sell produce all day long. Fruits and vegetables, fresh fruits and vegetables that aren't pre-cut or anything like that.
Because if it's cut, it's considered
It's considered
processed.
processed. So you have to be really aware of how you're going to sell it that day. But fresh produce, fruit and vegetables.
Is that our 12 minutes?
That was our 13
Yeah.
minutes.
Wow.
That went by
We got a lot more to
fast.
talk about.
We do. We
We'll,
have
we'll,
so
we'll
much
try to
fun.
cram some more stuff in there.
Yeah,
Hang in
we
with
will.
us.
We will. So, fresh produce, you don't have to have a license to do that. We are a farmer's market that is registered with the state of Oklahoma Department of Ag. So, we have to follow the laws. So, if you have a value added product, so that would include eggs, dairy, meat, baked goods, then you are required by law to label those as such and purchase licensure for particular items. So with the Home Bakery Act, if you're a home baker who makes $20,000 or less a year on your baked goods,
If you're making $20,000 in your bakery,
Yeah.
it might be time for a
right,
brick and
for a
mortar.
home, yeah,
Good for you.
you're good to go. You're good to go. You're covered under the Home Bakery Act. The only thing they ask you to do is like the example Marcus just gave. You have a label that's like 12-point font. It has your name, the name of your business if you want to put it on there, your contact information, and then it lists the ingredients of what you've made, so that for food allergy purposes and stuff like that. And then you also have to have a disclaimer at the bottom of that label that says something to the effect of this product was not made in a certified kitchen.
Right.
So
and that's for your safety
Yep.
and
Right.
whoever you're selling it to,
Right.
for sure.
So the other things that need licensure in order to sell with us are eggs. People have chickens all over this county, and they want to sell eggs with us, and we love
We
that
would
they
love
want
for
to
them to
sell
be here.
eggs.
Yeah.
But what they have to do is they have to get a hold of Department of Ag, and they would pay $50 for a small egg packer's license, is what it's called. And it doesn't mean the state's coming to inspect your place. They're not coming to check out your chickens or your eggs or anything like that. It just is a way for them to keep track, just ID you, so you have a card that you bring with you once you get licensed. And you bring your eggs to the market. There are regulations that they want you to follow when you're out there selling eggs, like keeping them at 40 degrees or cooler. And you have to have that card on
we
you.
could make a point. We know that it's very common in even other countries for people to not refrigerate their eggs, and we
Right.
understand that.
Right.
But again, the Oklahoma state law is they
Yep.
have to be kept at what temperature?
40 degrees or cooler.
And that's very difficult to
Yeah.
do just in an ice chest. Trista and Crystal, you guys told a story about how you tried dry
We
ice
tried
to
just
do that.
just to see if we could do it with a cooler, since we had a lot of people that wanted to sell but didn't necessarily have like a jack in their car to plug in a mini fridge. We took dry ice and we tried, and I think the coolest we got that cooler was like 50 degrees. So it is really important to
We would love for you to
Yeah.
sell eggs.
We would love-
you
yeah.
if you have like a really good one of those ice chests that will keep it super cold, and you practice it, and
Yep.
you're very confident, and you can keep that temperature down there, then by all means,
Yeah,
we
for
would
sure.
love for you guys to be there.
for sure.
For sure.
And so that's the whole story with eggs. And honestly, $50 for an egg license is not that much, because considering the amount you can make off of eggs, people come to the farmers market to look for eggs for sure. So
Right.
that's not a hard thing. The other things that need licensure would be any dairy products. Obviously, that is you have to.
No unpasteurized
No,
milk.
we cannot sell raw milk. We can. I mean, I get it. Like if you're selling raw milk from your home, that's a totally different situation. But if you take it from the farm and sell it off location, that's when you have to have a license to do that. And we just can't risk that. The state doesn't have a way to track it back unless somebody gets sick from your product. So dairy has to be licensed. Any kind of dairy has to be licensed. And then also meat. We had Rainey's out at our farmers market last year, and obviously they're state inspected, and they followed all the state laws. And you saw them out there with their deep freeze in their flatbed trailer, and now they have a store here in
Yeah,
town.
they did so well. They realized
Yeah.
that there's
a need.
there, and now they have a storefront here in Millwater, which is kind of cool. We
Yeah.
have another local business that's thriving.
So the only other thing, and this is another frequently asked thing about what products can be sold, is canned food. Unless it is packaged, processed in a commercial or certified kitchen, you cannot sell it. So I get it if, I tell people this all the time. If you've been canning your entire life and you know that you did it the right way, that's great. I totally believe you. We believe you. And we know that it's probably great salsa or jam or whatever you've made. But if it's not in a certified kitchen, we cannot allow people to sell it at our farmers market. Now, they could sell it from their home, but it's kind of like, selling eggs or dairy or meat. Once you leave the location that you've...
So here's a question I think that probably has come up. I haven't got it because
Yeah.
I'm not... Real quick, Misty is a market manager, and I technically am a reluctant market manager. I'm just the guy that likes to carry stuff and set it out and then go visit and do the social media stuff. But Misty is the actual market manager and runs the machine whenever Trista's not there, and so on and so forth. But I'm sure this question gets brought up, or if it hasn't, then I'm sure it will at some point. If they have those types of things, can they actually sell those? Can they have a sign up to come to the house and buy those things? Is that a thing that you can do?
Yeah, before we've had people they can set up a table and take orders.
Orders?
They can take orders as long as there's no money transacted, money transaction at the farmer's market. If they want to,
And
go
have
to
to
their
go out to the house and pick up, say, eggs.
They
or
if they've already paid for them, then they can even bring them to the farmer's market and distribute them. But there can be no money
Right.
pass between at the farmer's market. But I don't know how clear that is, but
And no live animals. We
no
get
live.
that
No
Oh,
live
thank
animals.
you, Misty, so much. I've had so many people ask me, "Can I sell my baby bunnies or whatever?" And you know what? Baby bunnies are super cute, and
They would be a great attraction, to be
For
honest.
sure.
That would bring a lot of
For
kids there, which
sure.
we'd love to have.
But we cannot. That is a state law. We cannot sell live animals. We cannot sell animals.
There's a lot of slippery slope stuff.
Yep.
And
Yep.
there's got to be, some regulation for
Right.
safety for everybody.
Well, so
and
basically, I mean, the garden market was made specifically to get fresh and locally grown produce to people in our community. So, you know,
Yeah.
all that other complicated stuff. We do allow people to sell if they've got crafts that they do that are directly related
that was
to
my next one. Yeah.
their farm. So, for example, we had a lady a few years back. You guys know Christy Straw. She had some sheep or goats. What were they? She'll probably let me know. She'll correct me.
Farm animals.
But anyway, I'm pretty sure she had sheep. But she would get the fiber. She would have them sheared. She would spin the wool. She'd have these awesome skeins of wool that she would hand dye. Beautiful stuff. And she would sell that at the market. That's a fiber product off the farm. And she could sell that. And she could also, if she made anything out of that, crocheted anything out of that, she could sell that at the farmer's market because that was made directly from the fiber off of her farm. So we do
and
a
so
lot
on
of
the
stuff like that.
opposite end of that, my daughter she is amazing at actual yarn,
Mm-hmm.
and she could do all this stuff, but she couldn't sell it because it's not a product
Right,
from the farm,
right.
like an animal product.
Right. It needs to be, if somebody sells eggs, now I'm probably going to open us up for all kinds of stuff. If somebody sells eggs, just some ideas, like those really cool egg collecting aprons where they sew little pockets all over the front of the
Oh.
eggs. You could sell something like that as a craft alongside your eggs that you're selling because
Oh, okay.
I would like to see that. I would like
Yeah.
to see more stuff
Yeah.
like that out at the farmers
So
market.
stuff
I
like
think
that-
it would bring more
Yeah.
people and
for sure.
And to be clear, some of this stuff has to be justified
Mhm.
in those realms. So
Mhm.
the best thing would be to interact with us first. Come up here to Know What I Can.
Absolutely.
Pass it through Trista and Misty and figure out if this is
Yep.
a viable thing. I was going to say something about slippery slopes. We still have to stay within regulation. If we get shut down, we're not going to be able to provide this service. So we want to play by the rules and keep going as long as we can.
For sure.
Another example would be like gourds, making like
Yeah.
birdhouses.
Oh, yeah. Birdhouses. If you
Yeah.
if you grew those gourds at your house, you dried them, paint them up, make them cool. And you could sell those because those are directly off of your farm or out of your garden. So that's totally allowable.
We can see how some people would be confused. Well, how come I can't sell my walking sticks? Could you sell walking sticks? Well, they're not really from a farm.
I
And
mean-
those are the kinds of conversations we need to have one-on-one before.
You could,
show up and-
unless you if you're growing bamboo or something. I mean, then of
Right.
course, yeah,
I did
you
see
could totally.
I did see bamboo.
Yeah,
being
you
sold.
could totally do that. But yeah.
How about live plants?
You have to have. Thank you for bringing that up. You have to have a nursery license and a nursery grower's license through Department of Ag. And I don't remember what it is. I think it's a minimal fee. But you, at our farmers market, with our SNAP customers, they can actually purchase nursery plants
Oh wow.
with their SNAP benefits as long as it's a plant that grows food.
Okay.
If it's just like a house plant or like really cool like petunias or something, they can't purchase that. But if it's like a tomato plant or a pepper plant, they can purchase that with their SNAP benefits. So, but if you're going to sell nursery plants, you have to have a nursery grower's license, and that the cost of the license varies by size of your operation. So you're not going to be paying the astronomical amounts that like an actual like greenhouse would pay, but you still have to register with the state. So.
We've went well over our time,
Yeah,
and
for
we
sure.
have plenty of things to talk about. So if
Yep.
you want to hang in there with us, we can keep going for a little bit, or we could wrap it up.
I think
Is there enough to just keep going? If it's important, let's just keep going.
I think we pretty well
How-
covered
I
it.
think so.
Okay, so how would one go about becoming a vendor?
Well, that would be awesome if they checked with us first.
Right.
Give Know What I Can.
We've had
a
some very sweet people
call.
show up and just
Oh,
set
yeah,
up,
yeah.
and we totally value that, and
Yeah.
we'll figure it out on the.
I
can-
mean, they can stop by the office or they can give us a call, 918-273-1500. And
or our Facebook page.
Or our
Hit us up
Facebook
on
Even
page.
email. I've had people,
Yeah.
we can email
Yep.
back and forth and
we've got all kinds
send
of
them the application. And
Yeah.
there's many ways to.
right.
Get a hold of us.
Yep,
We'll
we've
figure
got
it
vendors applications. We have SNAP agreements for vendors if they're interested in participating in the SNAP program. And I mean, the most important thing is to come to us first, and we can get you set up.
Something else that I wanted to bring up, I feel like the garden market has grown incrementally
Mhm.
As it becomes more of a staple in the community. People start realizing how this works, the value that it adds to the community. I think, honestly, in my opinion, at this point, it would be upsetting if the garden market wasn't there, because we have so many.
Yeah.
How many people did you guys kept a head count in the last 2 weeks? How many people came
Over
in?
100.
Over 100.
Which some of that was Boys and Girls Club, which
Yeah.
everyone had so much fun having them
Mhm.
out. But yeah, there was over 100.
That's a little bit of an exception to the rule, but hopefully that as the season grows on, this year it was really wet for a long time, and then it got really hot.
Yeah.
And so we haven't had as many vendors, but just like Misty said, we had 100 people there last time. We would love to have more vendors. We would love for it to be a even more established thing. The last couple years, we've had probably what, 6, 7, 8 vendors that
a few years ago,
thick
we
of
had
it.
up to like 14 vendors.
Oh, my.
And not all at once, obviously. But, they've kind of switched out depending on the season, because some of our vendors just grow greens or, onions or something that's a cool season, early spring type of crop. And then we'll trade somebody out who has sweet corn and watermelon like halfway through, July. So
if you're a farmer, seasons are kind of shifting a little bit. We
Yep.
were up until last year, it was like April through September, and we realized April we weren't producing a whole lot. We didn't have a lot of vendors for the first month, and so we changed it from
that would
May
be
to
important.
September.
to let them know the starting and ending dates and times.
So May through September, every Wednesday, 4 to 6, unless it's raining or it's been raining, and we'll track up that lot. We are really grateful to the railroad for letting us use that. They very much support with what we're doing, and so we want to make sure that we don't track it up and cause problems. Thank you to the city for mowing it for us, keeping it nice
Yep.
and clean for us.
We should. I don't know that we really like the lot. We haven't told them the exact location, have we?
Oh, yeah. Do you know where the garden market is, or is this all news to you? If you're 20 minutes into this now, you're like, where is this thing? I didn't even know it was there. Right across from Spikes Park. Spikes is right at the railroad tracks on Cherokee Street, and right across the street from that. And a lot of people ask this too, why not just have it at Spikes Park? There's electric over there. Well, it's really hard for the vendors. Those railroad ties are there, and it's hard for them to get everything over the top of it. And it's the logistics are make it a lot easier just to go to that empty lot.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
I was going somewhere. Oh, what are some products that are highly desirable from your experience since 2015? That if there was somebody out there that was like, well, I have honey, I don't know, is it worth me going to sell my honey? From my experience, yes, absolutely. I tried to
I was
get-
going to say
Request
honey.
Honey, yeah. That was my
1000%.
answer too.
I tried to get a local honey guy from in Collinsville. He literally lives like just across the pasture from me, and I was visiting with him several months ago to prepare for this. And because we just hadn't heard anybody that had honey that was interested in doing the garden market. And because of the rain, he's probably not going to have honey until July of this year. And hopefully whenever he does, he'll have a case and I can purchase it, and I'll come up here and sell it for him, if not have my kids. Because that's another thing, is if you've got products from your garden or whatever and you have kids, come and have them sell it, because they sell really good. The kids can sell. Kids can sell.
Yep.
We've had lemonade stand. My kids' nephews did a lemonade stand that was pretty successful. It was good for
They
business.
sold produce alongside.
Yeah, and
it
yeah,
wasn't
they did.
just a lemonade stand. They did have produce. that they
Jagger
grown.
had some stuff from the garden. My daughter did baking and cookies and brownies and stuff like that. What else would be, if there were a vendor out there thinking, man, I wonder what would be some really successful things? I mean, honey's at the top of the list.
Tomatoes,
Baked goods, tomatoes.
green beans, okra. Everybody asks for okra,
Last
and
week,
we have,
Kennedy sold out of green beans.
Yeah.
And, Crystal was kind of disappointed because she didn't get over there in
Yep.
time to get some. So
was.
green beans.
But they can't
that's
be
a big one.
snapped, right? Or can they
no,
be snapped?
no.
Because again, there's that definition. If they're processed, if they're already snapped, then you can't sell them because they've been processed. and I think part of that is because it opens it up for disease. You know, if it's not packaged correctly or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if we can't think of anything super important, I
I
think
do want to say like how important like the Know What I Can Garden Market has been to our community. Like we were featured on a
Oh,
T-set
right.
documentary type thing.
Promotional.
Yeah, it was like
a promo. It
yeah.
was a good-
We were interviewed. They came to the farmers market. We're a success story. We're actually I've presented several times at the state farmers market manager conference about our market. They've kind of used the Know What I Can Garden Market as an example of a successful rural farmers market, making it affordable, accessible to people who might not have like reliable transportation, that kind of thing. Um, they kind of like the standard we've set, and so they use the example of our farmers market a lot. And
It's on the TSET website.
Yeah.
We had a picture from that where
Yep.
we were literally on the front page of the TSET website.
Yeah.
We were on OK in the Know, which is another website for grants or for grantees. They had a professional film crew come down from Oklahoma City. They had some drone footage. They interviewed Trista. They interviewed Susan Perkins and Bruce Peverly from Nowata County Extension. And it was a really well put together package. And we shared it on our Facebook page a while back. Maybe we'll reshare that again.
We're also on the agritourism site.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Like our location and what we sell and everything is on the agritourism site.
So we're doing
Oklahoma.
something right.
Yeah.
We're doing something right. And we're getting some positive
Trying
press
to put Nowata on the map.
from Nowata. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Anything else to wrap it up?
I think we've covered it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, fantastic. Guys, again, ways to get a hold of us. Our phone number is 273
1500.
1500 1500. You can hit us up on the Facebook page. You can come in and talk to us. Typically, our hours, this is something that is very important to share. Our jobs are very flexible. We may be out in the community. We may be at trainings. We may be, all over the place. Technically, our hours are from 8 o'clock in the morning until 3 o'clock. And again, that varies drastically because we're just out busy doing things. But come in and visit with us. Any other email.
Yeah. Email.
If you have our email address, we can give that maybe later. But yeah, get a hold of us, and if you've got anything that you'd like to ask or share, or if you want to be a part of the garden market, by all means, just come out and see us. Just come out and meet us at the garden market, and we could have vendor forms there and get you rolling. So. Alrighty, well, thanks for hanging in there with us. I'm not even sure. I'm looking at my watch like I have any idea how long that was, but it was quite a while.
I'm guessing 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, Nowata, thank you for tuning in, and stick with us. We're going to have a lot more information about different grants and the elements of that and anything else that is positive for the community. We are Nowata Can Community Advancement Network, anything that advances the community in healthy ways. We try to be a part of it. We try to partner with anybody else that's trying to do the same thing and advance Nowata. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much, and we'll see you again. We're going to try to do this once a week, different topics each week. So, stick in there with us. All righty. Bye-bye.